Hi, this video is going to help you with the absolute values that we did in class, and I made you a video so that you could stop the video and go back and watch it. So our goal for this graph, we're only going to do one in this video, is the following. And you should recognize the level of difficulty that I'm asking you to perform. Let's do +7. That'll be fun. So if for some reason the points don't fit on the graph, don't worry about it. Just graph whatever fits. Okay, so go ahead and copy that down and we will get started. Well, the first thing that you need to know is you need to know the parent function. So what is the parent function? Make sure you're stopping the video when you need to. So the parent function is the absolute value function, and you should have a little bit of knowledge as to what the general shape looks like. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the reflection, and yes, I do have one, but I also have this vertical stretch that's going to make the graph skinnier in this case. There are other graphs where if you have a fraction, the graph gets wider, but I'm going to do a skinnier vertical stretch on this problem. So we're going to go through and make the parent graph. So if you tell me in the explaining assignment that, well, here is the table, and you don't explain to me where it's coming from, then that portion would be marked off. So you really need to make sure you talk about where is the table coming from. So we're picking values of x, we're substituting them into the function absolute value, and based on the properties of that absolute value, we end up with a positive output. And so that is the parent graph table. And you could come over here and graph that, but I'm not going to do that on this example because I'm now starting to level you up. So now we're going to do that actual vertical stretch, which is why I made the table. So I'm going to extend the table out. And the 5 tells us now to multiply all the y's by 5. And these were the old y values. So I now have 10. And I don't need to read them off to you because you can see them. So that is our skinnier graph. And then we also need to deal with the negative sign. So if you want to go ahead and put it into the table here, that is completely okay. But again, in Math 3, I do them separately because I want you to see the process and not that it's just happening. So I'm going to first graph the function. I'm first going to graph the function in purple, y equals 5 times the absolute value. So that is what I'm first graphing. And you really can see that this graph is very skinny. And I'm not going to connect the points yet because I've got more things I have to do to the graph. So those are the purple ones right here. And when I say the purple ones, I'm talking the points, x comma y. Okay, next, I'm going to do the reflection now. So this is a reflection. The negative sign is a reflection, and I'm graphing now -5 times the absolute value in green. So the negative outside, so this is the negative on the outside. So I better write it in the list because I know some of you guys like the list. So reflect over the I ran out of space a little bit. So I'm going to reflect the points over the x-axis. Remember, stop that video. I had a student tell me, well, the video is going too fast. Well, the beauty of videos is you can stop and, make the screen still, and then you can catch up and then play the video, or you can go back and watch the video a second time. So now I've taken care of the negative sign, so now we have to do the horizontal and vertical shift. So that's what's next. So I cleaned up some items on the graph so it's a little bit clearer. So next we're going to look at the horizontal shift. So the horizontal shift. So the horizontal shift, I want to make sure you understand this. Do not say opposite. That's not what's happening. And the reason why is don't write this, okay? I just want to show you why you can't say that. Is if in the function I had 2x plus 1 and he told me you go the opposite direction, this is incorrect. Because a lot of students will just go, oh, you go -1 this way, and that's not right. So I'm trying to teach you really how this works. So you can get it in every case, not just these little simple cases. So I'm going to go back and look at the general formula now, which I hope you understand the structure, or if you don't, you need to definitely ask me. That's the general structure. There's no B value here, which we'll be learning more about. I'm just trying to layer things, and so it's not all a whole bunch at once. So here is the formula. And to remind you how the formula works is this is x minus in the formula. So if I rewrite what's inside the function we're dealing with, what I have here is I have x, but I don't have a minus sign, so I'm going to have to create that. So what I really have is x minus -3. Why? Because the formula has a negative in it, which now the 3 is now negative. So this goes left 3. Okay, so the graph shifts left 3 since the formula, and I'm going to say general formula. This is actually the vertex form. Contains that x minus in it. Thus, and you would have to summarize this in your own words when you're talking to me or showing me that you understand. So the shift left, so the graph shifts left since the general formula contains x minus, thus 3 is negative. That's what's going on. So we're going to take all these points and we're going to move them over 3 to the left. And then finally we have a +7, which means we're going to go +7. So I'm going to take these green points and perform that transformation. So I'm going to get rid of the items I don't need, but if it's on your paper, no problem. So I'm going left 3 and up 7. And we're going to perform that. And I'm first going to show you just almost like a little roadmap. You don't have to do the lines. I just want to show people that may need it just to understand. And then I'll erase it. So you're going to do that to all of the points. And that's my final graph. Hooray! And then there you go. You have your final graph, which is f of x equals -5, absolute value of x plus 3 plus 7.